Without having gents.
So this next topic here, this is one that, it's been a debate for a while, but it's kind of died down in the past year or so. But it's the one and done college athletes. It only applies to basketball. But what do you think? Do you think basketball players should have to do a year in college or more, or should they be able to come back out of high school?
Uh, Here's my thing. I believe it should be, it's your life. You do with it as you wish. If you make the wrong decision of fucking up and not going to school, if that's a wrong decision or not, however it ends up being, I'm not saying that's a wrong decision. Let's say you decide be like a Kevin Garnett or a Kobe Bryant and just not go to college. LeBron James, not go to college and go straight in the NBA, and you produce at that level that all three of those players did, then absolutely, I think they should do it. But I think there needs to be, obviously, I've never been in that situation.
You could have been.
I could have been, but with the rule changes and coming out one and done, everybody knows how I was a multi-sport star.
Yep.
Maybe not our listeners, but
a bigger star in West Virginia than Randy Moss.
Absolutely. Who?
Yeah.
Exactly. But no, anyways, I think if it's their life and whatever they want to do with it, because everybody comes from a different background, maybe they need this money, maybe that their families have been banking on this kid. They've been bringing them to these camps. They've been their whole life has been surrounded by their kid and their future. I mean, absolutely. I think they should be able to go and not have to do a one and done season. I think they should be able to come straight out of high school if that's what they feel like that they're best acclimated for.
All right. So I agree with both sides of it. So let's start with the side of coming out of high school. And I echo everything that you just said with that. It's some of these families, they're a lot of these guys are coming from poverty, and now this is their meal ticket. Like, this is the way they're going to feed their family. This is the way they're going to help their family out. If they are projected to be a top pick in the draft, screw it. Even if they're projected to be drafted in general, go, let them go from high school, let them feed their families. But then I could see it from the NBA's perspective. It's still a business. The NBA is still a business. They don't want to put this product on the court that's trash, because at the end of the day, these are 18-year-old kids going up against grown men. And guys like LeBron James are anomalies. Guys like Kobe Bryant, anomalies. Kevin Garnett, anomalies. These guys are few and far between that have come out of high school into the NBA that have been able to dominate to the form that they were. Even one and done in college, the freshmen going to the NBA. Anthony Davis, that's a rarity. Zion Williamson, rarity. I think if it's either you let them come out of high school or you expand it to maybe 2 years of college. Like the NFL makes you do a mandatory 3, maybe you do a mandatory 2 for basketball, just to work on your skills, get bigger, because the difference between a 28-year-old man and an 18-year-old man is substantially different.
Right, and everybody's built differently. I mean, We've seen with LaMelo Ball, obviously he didn't want to go to college. He wanted to go overseas and perfect his talent. And then I think so far from what we've seen early on in his rookie year, I mean, dude can ball.
Yeah, and
no pun intended.
That's another thing that I was going to touch on there too. I think that that's a route more student athletes should take. They maybe skip college. You're getting a scholarship to college, but you're not going to use the whole thing. Let's be real. You're going to use a year of it for basketball, then go get drafted. Go play overseas, get paid. You still risk injury, but at least you're playing professional basketball. You're getting paid to do it. Like what we talked about a few weeks ago, college athletes getting paid. You're going to be getting paid handsomely, and then you can go play in the NBA. You get drafted in the NBA.
I mean, it worked out pretty perfect for LaMelo. So
he's going to be the best out of the Ball brothers for sure.
It was crazy. I saw a graphic of all three brothers. It was posted by like SportsCenter or something. It was like a cartoon edit, and it was all three brothers walking into a stadium, and they had their NBA jerseys on. And then, like literally a day after that happened, the oldest Ball brother, he was cut.
LiAngelo.
So everybody, LiAngelo. So everybody, a moment of silence for LiAngelo. Hopefully, he can get back on a squad soon. And we're back. But I'm very excited to see how, because if LaMelo Ball's career carries over to what how it's looking so far, if it continues down the stretch that it's been at, he hasn't been perfect by any means, but he's
He's a
been
rookie.
flashy. Yeah, he's a Rook. He walks into the stadium, they're like, "Hey, Rook,
We'll get
clean
us
my
some donuts,
laundry.
Rook.
Hey, Rook, what are you doing in here, huh? Hey, this is a vet's room." I mean, so it's just, if he continues down the stretch that he's going down and he keeps perfecting his craft, I mean, I think he's a perfect prime example of, hey, he didn't go to college and he turned out well.
Yeah,
And so going down like that, like what you're saying, going overseas and playing, getting paid, it's the best of both worlds, getting your name known, and you're playing against not necessarily the best talent from uh, former NBA players, but they know how the game works,
exactly. They're still
and
professional athletes.
they should still be able to school some of these kids coming out of high school.
Yeah, a lot of
So
these guys are ex NBA players that are playing in China, in Turkey,
right,
in Russia. These countries, like they're ex NBA players. Like I think, and like I said, you're getting paid. I think that's a better option than going to college, just a waste of scholarship to play. And the NBA is not NBA, the NCAA is corrupt too. It's a
oh, it is.
it's a huge corrupt organization because at the end of the day, this may be school, but the NCAA is still a business. And it all circles back. It all comes full circle. They want their money. They don't care about anything else but making money, and it shows in the NCAA tournament that they prolong it. They put it in a bunch of different cities. They sell out these arenas. If you want to get tickets to the Final Four, you got to buy a ticket pack for 4 games. Well, not 4 games, 3 games. So you get the tickets for the 2 semifinals games and the finals. So you can't just buy individual tickets. So they hike up the price on that. It's a huge business, and they're corrupt. So I think more kids should look elsewhere. They should look to go playing overseas, and build from there.